This is the Coaching Game. I'm Laurie Lawson, and tonight my guest is Jennifer Mercanti. Welcome, Jennifer. I have to tell you, she just got off the plane from Canada, so I'm really thrilled to have her here. Jennifer and I are old IPEC buddies. Anybody who watches this show knows that my coaching school is IPEC, and Jennifer was a part of that. Jennifer is a certified professional health and wellness coach, and we are going to, she's also a courageous woman, because we're going to do some points of view coaching on the air tonight. But Jennifer, first tell us a little bit about you and what you do in the coaching world.
Thanks, Laurie. It's wonderful to be here as well in New York City and to have finally met you.
Yes.
I am, as you said, I'm a certified professional health and wellness coach, and I also do some career coaching. And my company is Wellness Wins. And I love helping people and love assisting people to help them find their passion, their purpose, and their potential in life. And through IPEC, I've been able to do that. So I'm excited to be here.
Let me ask you something. Can you combine wellness and career? Do you do that, or is it two separate categories for you?
I definitely combine the two. I often have executives coming to me initially for some career coaching, and then it often goes into the health and wellness coaching because they do need coaching on both. I think it goes down to needing to have a balanced life and needing to balance both your professional life and your personal life. And the health and wellness and the career often blend together well.
I like the name Wellness Wins. And I can see where that would come in handy with career also, because you know what, if you're not feeling in tip-top shape or even in good shape, it's like, I can see where that would affect any, career decisions, career productivity. So I think that's fascinating. So, and vice versa, do people come to you for health and go, oh, you know what, now that I'm feeling so good, I want to spruce up my career?
Very often. I often have some of my yoga clients, because I also teach yoga. And
yes, see all those lovely letters under her name. She's very impressive. She has a little law degree on the side. All this crazy stuff, yes.
I often, in any event, I often have yoga clients asking me for career coaching as well. So they do blend together nicely. And I have some experience in the career field, like you said, having been an attorney for about 14 years now, and having worked in different facets in the corporate world. And on the health side, I did experience in my 20s, I had rheumatoid arthritis and lupus, and I was told I would be in a wheelchair within a year and immobile. And as you can tell, I'm not. I'm fine. And
wow.
And I do practice yoga now regularly.
Fantastic. To what do you attribute that? Just good living?
I think it is good living. It's all to do with mind, body, and spirit, and just being connected with yourself and taking good care of yourself.
Wow. And are your doctors amazed, or they've just accepted?
The doctors are amazed. I went down the natural route and saw many naturopaths, mineralogists, and they're all quite amazed, and they still, they definitely want to hear from me today, and they view it as sort of a success story.
So I love this, and coaching is just amazing, because you can take all the crazy things that you never thought would make any sense and then put it into a program that helps people. So what do people come to you for? Is it to lose weight? Is it to feel better? And how did that experience help you help them?
I've had several clients come to me on the health side to lose weight, to maintain weight, and also to implement an exercise regime. So I helped one client maintain her weight for about a year now after having lost a significant amount. and I assisted another client to set a regular exercise regime. She just told me last week that if it wasn't for me, she wouldn't be exercising 3 times regularly weekly. So I just help people put their plans into action. On the career side, I've helped people take leaps to the next level in their career and to identify where their interests and passions are, and to ensure that they are first off in the right career, and then second off to enhance their career.
Amazing, just amazing. I love the personal story, and I love, you know, the background that says, okay, wellness can win. It looks like it looks like you're a living example of that. So
Thank
fantastic.
You. Thank you, Laurie.
Well, what we're doing is, as you know, this show is based on the marvelous Points of View, the coaching game. And Jennifer, normally what I have my guests do is to draw a card, and then we sort of make a theme for the show. Jennifer has agreed, because Points of View has 65 cards that are basically designed to bring right and left brain thinking together. There's exquisite photography, and then there's a word that may or may not go with the photograph. But it also, and each card has a corresponding story, coaching quotes, and coaching questions. But there's also a layout, and this is what I normally do with clients on a one-to-one basis. And there are 4 categories. One is awakeness, and that's not a spelling error. That's how they wanted it. This was developed in Israel. One is relationships. One is gain and loss, and one is past, present, and future. And Jennifer had said that she might be interested in doing the past, present, and future one. So the objective of the past, present, and future is to shed light on a process in your life that began in the past, is continuing in the present, and is expected to continue in the future too, okay? To facilitate a broader perspective along the timeline and to identify the potential. You have to choose an issue from your life that you would like to take a closer look at and share with everybody. A problem, a choice, an ongoing process, a relationship, or more. And so an example is like, how do I handle money matters? You know, that's a past, present, and the future thing. Or how do I conduct myself in the framework of the relationship with my life partner? You know, so is this good for you?
This is good.
This is good. Okay, I'm going to ask you to choose an issue.
I think for the past issue, it probably is relevant to choose my health issue.
I think, yeah.
Yeah.
And it continues and it affects today, etc.
Exactly. And I've often questioned whether I will have more health issues in the future as a result of what happened to me in the past. So I would be curious to have some coaching around that.
I love that, because I'm sure that's in the back of your head. It's like, as all things that happen to us as children are. Okay, so what we're going to do is there are 3 questions affiliated with past, present, and future. So I want you to draw 3 cards. I trust these cards so much, and I'm going to have her draw them face down, and then we will get started. Okay, put that in the number 1 slot, just and if it calls to you. All right. Okay, great. All right, so these we don't need right now. So the first question, and each layout has questions for each card. So the first question is, what happened in the past? And what I'd like you to do is try to answer through the card if it makes sense to you. And the card is, communication. What happened in the past, and how was it communicated?
Perhaps this may have to do with the communication, the diagnosis that I received originally medically for the arthritis. I originally had trouble bending my arms and legs, and it happened in each joint individually. And when I went to see a doctor, they immediately said, you likely have rheumatoid arthritis, without having done testing. They then proceeded to do some blood work and came back and confirmed that and said I had rheumatoid arthritis or lupus. But I think the way it was communicated to me was difficult to accept for a 20-year-old. And when they told me this diagnosis, they also told me to stop exercising. And it sort of seemed to go against my migraines of what I knew was right and what I should be doing. And it was difficult for me. I had probably about 6 to 9 months where I wasn't exercising and was very upset. So I think the communication with the doctors could have definitely been better.
How would you have changed that? What would have made that better?
I would have appreciated them communicating to me about the other natural paths that I could have taken, which I did end up taking on my own. And I would have appreciated having been able to consult with a health and wellness coach when I was going through something like this.
I wonder if there were health and wellness coaches
at that time. Exactly.
I love that. So you said, okay, here's what I would have liked to have had, but I'm going to become it. Because I'm not sure that was available then. I'm not,
no,
10 years ago?
It likely wasn't, but I think if I had been able to communicate the issue with someone who could have helped me come up with a plan and assist me, I think I would have moved forward from that diagnosis a lot quicker than I did. It probably took me a year or two to get past what was communicated to me by the doctors.
And how does that affect how you communicate today?
I think it makes me more cognizant and aware of my communication with other people, whether it be colleagues or friends, family. I'm very careful about what I communicate to them and what I say, because I know how important and impactful it can be.
So when you first got the diagnosis, it was kind of like, okay, this is what you have, and it's not going to be good.
Right.
And there's nothing we can do?
Right.
So it was kind of a hopeless communication.
And they suggested I go on long-term medication immediately. And the doctors almost did not want to see me further unless I accepted their remedy.
Yes, I've had doctors tell me that. It's like, well, if you don't take the medication, I can't treat you. And it's
Right.
like, okay, and then I guess I'm going to have to find somebody else. But that was a hard. Did you make the decision by yourself, or was it a family affair?
It was a family affair. My parents helped me at the time, and they supported my decision to look to the alternate routes, and they helped me visit naturopaths, mineralogists, Chinese doctors, and they supported that decision.
Okay, great. Okay, and it's funny. I have a radio show called Meaning and Madness, and what we try to do, and I'm thinking you'd be a great guest. What we try to do is take people who have had crazy, tragic things happen to them, and somehow they've turned it around and they've made something positive as well as benefiting others. And my co-host calls in from India, and we want to combine cultures and combine wisdom. And I'm thinking this may be the bad communication, was really, okay, this is good. All right, so what's happening now? Joy. That's the joy card. So what is happening now with your health?
Now my health is fairly good, and I am quite grateful. And I think what happened to me in the past really gave me a perspective and made me focus on gratitude, because I live each day to the fullest. I live in the present moment, and I don't take things for granted. I don't take my health, the ability to move, and the ability to live a joyful life for granted. So I do think the present is quite joyful, and I'm quite grateful for where I am.
How did living in the present and trying to live a joyful life, how did that affect your coaching? And what was that a part of your decision to become a coach? Because you're obviously accomplished already.
It was definitely a decision. I took up yoga 2 years ago. I believe it was in 2012, to assist me with stress at work, stress in my job as an attorney, and just to focus a bit more on my mind, body, and soul. And I found through yoga, it gave me a calmer sense of being, a better perspective, and that started leading me into the coaching realm. I wanted to start. I wanted to share it with other people, and also some of the skills I've learned being an attorney and some of what I've experienced. I wanted to share some of what I knew and what I had acquired with other people, and I started managing more people in my regular day job. And as a result, I discovered that I thoroughly enjoyed and loved helping people fulfill their desires, careers, passions, and assist them with their health and wellness needs. So it definitely, the health issue has definitely led me to yoga and to coaching.
Okay. So, because actually, yoga is a goal of mine along with meditation, and I can always find an excuse why I actually don't have time to do that, and I know the value of it. So, I'm wondering, do you have any inspirational, sayings that get people to slow down a little and become more aware? Or do people come to you already aware that they need to slow down?
People generally come to me knowing that they need to slow down.
They're just not sure how? Or
They're
the
not
best
sure
way?
how, but there's there are a few people that come to me and I don't think they've realized it yet. And because of my intuition, I know that they need to slow down, so I tend to lead them in that direction, but I do it I try to do it tactfully. So normally
You don't throw them down on a yoga mat and go, okay.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
And normally what I do is I recommend starting off with, like for yourself, with meditation, starting off with maybe one session per week. It may be difficult to meditate every day, so start out with 5 minutes per day and find a quiet place that you enjoy, find some music that you enjoy, or I can recommend some good meditation walkthroughs. Like Deepak Chopra and Oprah just did a 21-day meditation, and it was wonderful. So it's 20 minutes per day. So start with something small and then gradually work up to more. I think once a week is a good initial goal, and then trying to move towards twice a week and gradually increase it. Because of course, if you start out trying to meditate 7 days a week and you've never meditated before, it's going to be difficult. So I think you need to set reasonable expectations.
Okay, I agree, and it's still a goal, and it was my New Year's resolution, and the year's not over yet, so I'm going to keep trying. The third question is, what is the potential? Oh my goodness. And this is an interesting card. It's the self-pity card. So what is the potential in all of this that's happened to you and what's happening now through self-pity? Interesting.
Yeah, that doesn't seem to blend as well. Why do you think that's perhaps coming up?
Well, I'm thinking that the potential would be, I think it would be a normal reaction to everything you've been through to have self-pity, and I think that, and I don't know, I'm wondering, is that a healthy response? I don't know. Did you need a time to actually go through being, oh, I'm so sad, this is happening to me, and then bounce back?
I think that does make sense, because initially I do recall when I had the diagnosis, there was a grieving period. There was a time when I honestly believed what was communicated to me, and that I would be in a wheelchair within a year. So there was a period of time where I was probably dwelling in some self-pity. But as I said, I tried to get out of it. It took me longer than I would have liked at the time to get out of it, but now I have the skills. Being a coach, through IPEC, I have the skills that I need to get myself out of the self-pity stage. And we joke as IPEC coaches with one another about being in victim mode for too long, or conflict mode for too long. And I do think sometimes it's necessary to be in that victim or self-pity mode just for a small period, and to acknowledge it and recognize it and then move yourself forward.
It's so funny. I just read this morning an article on Facebook, and I was just flipping through because I hadn't been in a few days, and God forbid, you don't want to miss on Facebook, but not for longer than a couple of days. And there was a whole article by someone who had been hit by a truck at age 20 and lost his leg, and wallowed in self-pity, and then said, okay, let me, and then he said, let me deal with this. So he became a triathlon person with one leg, and he would beat some of his partners. And then 20 years later, he was hit by a car and became paraplegic. And it was like, and he was, of course, he was, furious. But finally he said, you know what, I came out of that realizing, it's like, for God's sake, let your pain and your suffering have meaning. Take away from that and let it move you forward. Let you keep going. So I'm thinking that that's such a strange card, but what is the potential in self-pity? And I'm thinking that you might be such a beautiful example of that. Not that you spent a lot of time wallowing, but it was, anybody who gets a diagnosis is going to automatically go, oh my God, why me? I don't want this to happen. And yet it seems like you picked yourself up within a few months and said, okay, how can I turn this around?
It definitely made me persevere more, and I think it made me stronger. And I do not think that I would be a health and wellness coach today if it wasn't for this experience. So it did bring me to where I am today, and that leads me back to the gratitude. I mean, I'm grateful that, in a sense, I'm grateful that I went through that experience, because it led me to where I am today.
Yeah, I'm thinking that that card is as incongruent as it may seem. Might be your card. It's just like, okay, I think, because I'm thinking people might come to you. Oh, see, I use this book a lot, all the little tags and stuff. I'm thinking people might come to you and say, oh, this is the worst thing that's ever happened to me. What can I do? What I'm going to do is, on the bottom of this card is a page, and I'm going to look in the book on the page because it's the self-pity page, and I just want to see some of the quotes and see if we can make some sense out of them, because or maybe we've made as much sense. Is self-pity a direct result of being passive? Can you have self-pity and move forward? I don't know. What do you think?
I think you can have self-pity and move forward, but I think you have to recognize what it takes to move yourself forward. And I think coaching can help you with that.
The beauty of coaching, absolutely. Yeah, I think you've probably turned, instinctively, I think you probably turned to the right profession and the right career, and somehow have managed to put it all together so that you can help other people. There's a great quote here from, it says from Maya Angelou, self-pity in its early stages is as snug as a feather mattress. Only when it hardens does it become uncomfortable. So I don't know. I think the value in self-pity is, I have a tendency to smile all the time, and everybody tells me, oh, you're mad? You can't tell, or you're sad. And I think sometimes if you don't acknowledge that, you know what, this hurts, this is not a good situation, then I think you do other things to divert it. So I'm thinking there are some benefits in.
I agree.
Yeah, that's kind of amazing, because when I looked at the card, I went, oh my gosh, my cards fail me, but they never do. They never do. So on an overall thing, what do you feel your issue was, your health in the past? Do you feel that it's positively influencing what you're doing, or negatively, or a nice combination of both?
I think it's positively influenced me.
Isn't that amazing?
I definitely don't
Yeah.
think I would be where I am today if it didn't happen to me. And at the time, I never would have imagined that I would be sitting here today talking about the experience.
Not in a wheelchair.
Not
Yes.
in a wheelchair. And
Yeah.
you know, being a yoga teacher and a coach and helping other people with other health issues that they've encountered and moving them forward. So I definitely think there was some benefit for that having happened to me.
Definitely, and I'm wondering, do you have a space in your coaching where if people come to you and they're lost, they're totally lost, and they just don't know where to go, how do you deal with that? I know you inspire them, but how do you get them to the point where they can be inspired?
I generally like to focus on 3 items. So I will have them identify 3 areas that they would like to work on, and then I ask them to prioritize the 3 areas to find out what's most important to them and which of the 3 areas do they want to change right now.
Oh,
Because in certain situations, people are reluctant to start moving forward. They're still in that self-pity stage. So I like to make sure that people are ready to move forward before they do. And I like to focus on the 3 main areas.
And just let them decide which is most important.
Exactly.
Yeah. Fantastic. This is fascinating, and I really want you to be on my show, Meaning and Madness, because I think you've done that. I think you've taken some madness and made a little meaning out of it, and now you're sharing it with everybody, which is so great. So what's in the future for you? Not according to the cards, but just in your real life.
In the future for me, I'm looking for more global opportunities to work with more clients globally, and just to understand different perspectives in different global cultures. And I'm also considering writing a book to help people with other health and wellness issues, and to help people realize their true potential in their lives. And I'm always looking to travel and explore and meet more new people, because I love helping people and I love meeting people. So I look forward to connecting with more people after the show.
Fantastic. Well, let me point you to her website at the bottom, wellnesswins.ca. I'm not sure what CA is for, but I'm sure it's something great. And we really only have like 30 seconds, so I just want to thank you for coming in and sharing that magnificent story, because I'll tell you the truth, I had no idea. I knew she was a wellness coach, but knowing the background is just so fascinating and so validating for not only you, but for other people who were probably going through the same things. So Jennifer Mercanti, it was lovely meeting you. I just met her today in real person, and thank you so much for being on the Coaching Game.
Thank you so much for having me, Laurie. It's been wonderful.
And you're having fun.
Having some fun there.
Is it bad if we go over 28 minutes?
No, because what we're going to do is when we dub it, I'm going to just stop it at where it should stop.